Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DB. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material is coming out. What's going on, family? Man, this light is bright. Oh, now it's dark. Wait a minute now. Let's put it on that brown one. Oh, that's Blueface. All right, that's cool. The beige one. What's going on, everybody? Shout out, shalom, shalom. LC, the prodigal son, shalom, shalom, shalom. Ruma, shalom, shalom. We're going to have a serious a fellowship on Thursday at that 714 movement. You guys need to go ahead and sign up for that. Sister Shonda at Large. I got my shirt too yesterday. I was excited. I'm probably going to wear it tomorrow. Akita, salama. Good to see and hear from everybody. Good to hear from everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I love that we do these shows so we can tape them and we'll be able to show them again later for those who have other shows going on. I know Raw's had a show and some other things going on. But anyway, good to hear from everybody. Good to see everybody. Oh, I want to hide that. All right, so tomorrow is that day. I want you to share with other people. If you can come on tomorrow, that's fine. 500 subscribers. Woo woo. Now, I know people got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of subscribers, and that's fine. But they had to go one subscriber at a time till they got to those thousands of subscribers. So I really appreciate the subscribers, my subscribers, right? I really appreciate my subscribers. So make sure, we're here tomorrow. I'm doing shout outs. It's all about you tomorrow. I'm doing all shout outs tomorrow. Make sure you check out that Balaam and Balak, Blessings and Blockage. Make sure you check that out. Also, check out The Awakening, Restoring Healthy Roots, right? So it don't make no sense just to awaken and then we don't know what to do next. So make sure we do that, okay? Also, what else I had? That's pretty much it. Oh, I didn't have to upload the other one, but we went to Cincinnati. Me and my wife, shout out to LaDonna Brazil, went out to Cincinnati on this Mother's Day weekend, and it was cool. Shout out to D-Mob, shout out to K-Drama, shout out to MC Till, all of those in the Cincinnati area. Very nice town or whatever. We went to that Underground Railroad Museum. It was very, very cool. Very, very cool. We'll talk about a few things. But I don't know, I might push that show back because it's a lot of stuff going on with the Israel strike and the gas thing going on. So I probably want to touch on that probably Friday and push the Cincinnati show back till Sunday. If you hear a little trickling water in the back, it's because I got my hydroponics set up. Agro culture, the green elephants in the building. We're trying to grow, sustain, trying to be able to grow our own food. We need to be able to grow our own food, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what we need to do because, when they're talking about the famine and the shortage and all of that, we should be able to grow our own food, fruits, and vegetables. We know where it came from. It's fresh, it's organic. And I teamed up with Purdue University and a few other neighborhood gardens and farms. And so I'll be going, I got an intern, just like it's amazing. So, and part of the intern is I get paid to dig on my own garden. You know what I mean? That's just a blessing. The Most High just continue to bless. And I just think that he's just awesome. But no further ado, I want to get into this pros and cons of being an independent person. I consider myself a independent person. There's some pros and cons to it. This is not an exhaustible list, right? It's if you want to add to it, please do. It's a building, so we want to make sure we add to the list or something that you think or something that that makes you an independent person. We're just going to touch on a few things tonight and let's get right into it. Being pros and cons of being an independent person. It was more than that, but I just narrowed it down. All right. So let's get right into it. All right. Okay, pro number one. You can take care of yourself, right? Well, I say, well, everybody know how to take care of themselves. But it's great when you learn to stand on your own 2 feet. When you're a child, that's what you start doing literally, trying to get your footing. As you get older, you're trying to find out your footing in other areas like friendships and education. As we progress, we should be able to take care of things like the others used to do for us. Paying the bills, feeding yourself, making your own decisions, And the older we get, the more independent that we become, right? So that's a good thing to be able to take care of yourself because, believe it or not, some people, they hit a snag and they want others to just take care of them forever. And sometimes if you hit a rough patch, you might have to, crash on somebody's couch or lean to somebody for help. But for the most part, you should be able to take care of yourself or pull yourself up, help yourself out. Usually when we talk about our independence, we're usually referring to how good it is we're able to take care of our own needs. That's a pro. Pro number one. You're able to look out for others too. Now, here's the thing I've seen too. Something that's good about having the right balance of independence is that you're on top of your own issues. You're more free to look out for others. But you got to have a balance when you're doing this. You got to have a balance because if not, you'll start taking on other people's burdens and their weights and their yokes, and and their burdens become your burdens. And next thing you know, you're burnt out, you're stressed out. You know what I mean? Because you're carrying 2 sets of luggage, right? You're carrying your baggage, your luggage, the things that you deal with and stress out on a daily basis, and somebody else's. And the Most High said, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. Cast your cares upon him because he cares for you, right? All right, so let's go to the next one. It's continuous enough. It's supposed to be pro number 2, self-confident. It's very important to have physical, emotional, and mental and spiritual wherewithal it took to look after yourself. It allows you to take challenges you'd otherwise pass. So the self-confident, and what I call is when we connect back with the Most High, is having God confident, right? You know what I'm saying? And then we know that we are fearfully and wonderfully made in his image and his likeness. We know that he loves us, and we know that we're special to him, right? It helps us to take risk and faith. The more skill set you acquire, the more independent you are. Self-reliance, right? You be more self-reliant, right? So if you don't have a lot of confidence, then you're not going to you're not going to have a big thing of faith. And it said, without faith, it's impossible to please the Most High, right? Because those they must come to him, must believe that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And then you're going to take less risks, right? You're going to stay in your comfort zone, right? But if you have a confidence, then you'll be like, man, I think I can handle this. I think I can do this. And you might surprise your own self. That happens a lot of times. It might when you're trying something new, something that you uncharted territory, something that you never tried before, and then it end up being a success, right? Or even if it do end up being a crash and burn, you can say, well, look, at least I experienced it, and it's an experience. You know what I mean? Okay, but also another thing too, I found it out too. You got to outsource and get professional help. Like we can't be the jack of all trades and master of none. So sometimes we might need to get help. If somebody an expert in another area, right? If it's something that we're not trying to do, we only got 24 hours in a day. So we go to someone else who's an expert in that area. Because you don't want to be a jack of all trade and master of none. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Yahushua HaMashiach, the Christ, who strengthens me. We got to believe that. Faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God, hearing the word of the Most High. Shalom, Blacktastic. Shalom, shalom, shalom. So the more that it builds our confidence up when we trust in the Most High. Part of pro number 2, I guess that was 2 of them. Freedom and flexibility. Where the spirit of Yahweh is, there is freedom. When you feel independent, you feel like you can do anything, and you can. But freedom always needs to be exercised wisely, right? Because everything is you can do a lot of different things, but you shouldn't. So sometimes it takes self-restraint. I'm just keeping it real. I can say whatever I want and go wherever I want and do whatever I want to do. And ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. No, that freedom is off the chart. So you got to show some self-restraint sometimes. And flexibility too, right? Being able to change. Don't be so rigid. Yeah, I did say at 2 o'clock we was going to go over and do this. And then when 2 o'clock happened, hey, man, we got to go over here and do that. You know what I mean? To be able to be flexible, right? Independence gives you a greater choice and selecting alternatives. So another thing is when you're doing some things by yourself, you can always change it up. You can always be more flexible, right? It takes more when you take more people with you. Like when we used to go on different road trips and stuff, and we in a 15-passenger van, and we all in there together, and it's just, man, we got to go. I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. I got to use the restroom. Well, man, can we wait for another hour? No, I got to go now. So we got to stop because the more people you got on board, the more you can't be as flexible as you want to. It's also convenient and a lot quicker to correct the problem rather than to wait on others. So that's a pro. Somewhat. It's convenient. If it's a problem and it's only dealing with you, me, myself, and I, you can correct that problem instead of waiting on others. Resilience. This word was interesting to me. Resilience and resourcefulness. When you're on your own and things go wrong, there's no one around besides you to figure it out, right? When something's going down, you can't pass the buck. You can't play the blame game. He did, and she said, it's the woman you gave me. Adam did Eve. Like, it was her fault. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame nobody but yourself, right? Learning how to get out of the predicament teaches us a lot more what we're capable of and add skills to our repertoire, right? That we may need down the road when it isn't available, right? So these different resilience, this resourcefulness, to be able to help yourself out, that's a good, strong, independent skill because you're building up your skills, right? Sometimes you surprise yourself. You're like, man, I didn't even know I'd be able to do that. I didn't even know I'd be able to say that. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you out. All right. Resilience. I got the definition. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness, right? To be able to recover quickly and not harp on the situation for so long. And I had that problem with that back in the day. I used to relive it over and over and over again. Man, I wish I wouldn't have never. Man, I wish I would. Man, I hate that. Man, so you playing a different outcome in your mind, and it's over with. It's a learning experience. You learn from that, and you keep it moving, right? It's over with. You can't do nothing about it, right? Don't cry over spilled milk, right? But I used to relive things over and over again. And I see this is very, very interesting. This is from the Center of Creative Leadership, and there's a sociology and psychology. But I found some very interesting things, you know what I mean, in there. 8 resilience practices. Is somebody calling me right now? Unreal. All right, 1 and 2. Develop and nurture a broad network of personal and professional relationships. We need relationships. Right? Personal relationships create a strong base of support and a critical element in achieving goals, dealing with hardships, and developing perspective. Remember that relationships are important for your team too. Be intentional about setting aside time to contact with your connections. We got to set aside some time. We only got 24 hours in a day. I know life gets busy, it gets hectic. We got to set aside some time for socialization outside of our workplace, right? We got to be able to set up some time to be able to talk to one another. And I want to give a shout out to brother Blacktastic, man. I got off a show one time and he just called me one night just to encourage me, man. I really appreciate that, man. You know, that was a blessing. So appreciate that, man. You know, just networking and socializing and touching bases with one another is a blessing. 3 and 4, in addition to lowering your blood pressure and cholesterol, we know that regular exercise improves your ability to process stress and simultaneously increase your resilience. So the more exercise you get in, it helps your resilience out. You won't be short, you know what I mean, and choppy and ready to chop somebody's head off and just real short and got attitude, you know, got a real moody, right? So we got to get that exercise in, even if it's just walking around the mall, right? Just walking outside, taking that stroll, digging in the garden. That's what helps me out. That's so therapeutic to me, digging in the dirt. It's just, I just love it, right? Detaching from work and making time recommended. Now, this one thing I can't really do. That's 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It says scientifically proven to strengthen resilient leadership. To be honest, I get like 5 hours or maybe 6. Spacely, Shalawam, Shalawam. Abby Cole, Shalawam, Shalawam. And Lynn, blessings to you. I'll keep going back and forth because sometimes I can't see it because I'm on the slideshow. All right, 5 and 6. Whether you're celebrating success or enduring hardship, make time for mindfulness. Now, this is what they put. They said mindfulness, fostering learning and perspectives and a degree of self-awareness that can enhance your resilience. But I said meditate on the Most High and His Word. Meditate on the Most High and His Word. If you just think about the goodness, of what He's done, you know what I'm saying? You can just think about it. When you're telling the story, just think about a time when you're telling a story and somebody made you upset. You relive that story. You start frowning up, right? You start sweating, start getting loud. You're living it all over again. But that's the same way that happens when we start thinking about the goodness of the Most High, right? We might even whelp up, we start thinking about how good He is, you know what I mean, and everything that He done for us, and His Word, it keeps us encouraged. Psalms 119, Psalms 119, I'm sorry, yeah. I love that. It's the longest psalm in there, but I love that book. All right. Embrace new perspectives, gain new understandings, and apply them during times of change. Don't hold on to old behaviors and skills just because they're familiar, especially when it's obvious they don't work anymore. Remember, great leaders are great learners. And that's one thing I had to learn and just over the last couple of years, because I was stern and not stern, but I was just like, man, this what it is. That's facts, and that's how I go. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't take other people's into consideration. I'm just being transparent with you guys. But when you shut your mouth, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Shut that mouth, listen. You might learn something. And even if it is off or even if it is wrong, you can get a different perspective from that person on how they got to where they got, or how they came to what they came to. So great leaders are great learners. All right. 7 and 8, deliberately enhance and prolong your positive mood experience and emotions by savoring them intentionally. Right? Now, I thought this was corny, but I did it and it worked. Okay. Constantly savor the good things in life is important because neuroscience research suggests that our brains have a negative bias, right? We just wired, because it's sin nature, we just wired negative by nature because of the flesh. So leaders must be intentional about reaching for positivity in order to enhance resilient leadership. So I'm gonna give you an example. If you get a flat tire, you don't throw the whole car away, right? You don't get rid of the whole tire. You don't get rid of the whole car. You fix that tire, you keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this right here is savoring the moments. Is looking at the good things. So you might say, you know what? I got a 2006. I'm just making it up. I got a 2006 Honda Accord, and I had to put that mug in the shop in three weeks. That mug reliable. It gets me to and from. You know what I mean? And then it won't. You won't cover it as much. You won't look at the next man pulling up to you in the 5.0 or Hummer or something. Something real nice, and then you start comparing. You know what I mean? But like, look, this is I am where I'm at where I'm at. I like my little reliable car. It gets me from A to B, and it's resourceful too. I can help people out. I mean, just try it out. It start off being corny, but when you start doing it more and more, you'll start being being more grateful. I said, man, I'm grateful for my family, man. You know what I mean? They some funny characters. Even when I don't get the desired outcomes, because me and my sons, they teens, and we can go at it, and I'd be like, man, I told them A, and they did B. I mean, but I'm glad that they trying to be independent thinkers. Now I ain't talking about no timeout stuff like that. This ain't the natty or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, look, stop and smell the roses while you're alive. Because we got our head in the sand and we just go, work. Man, stop. You know what I'm saying? Speak to a few people. You're blessed to be a blessing. Feel me? Just, I don't know if your pocket's long like that, but say like, hey, you know what? He go a gift card. Go into a store and give him a gift card. You know what I mean? And it just does volume for you. It does volume for you. because it helps your outcome. It's just a blessing. 8, take time to acknowledge and appreciate small things throughout the day. The more purposeful you are about practicing gratitude, the more things will naturally trigger feelings of meaningfulness. Give thanks and actually make you a better leader. That's just what I was just talking about. Just give thanks and everything. I was just thanking the Most High yesterday for my family, for my friends. And people are like, man, this dude, he making a big deal over 500 subscribers. No, I'm genuinely, I thank the Most High for 500 subscribers. I thank the Most High for 500 subscribers. Because y'all could be doing anything. Y'all got 24 hours in a day. Y'all could be somewhere else. So I appreciate y'all chopping it up with me and spending time with me. I don't take that for granted. Right? So it's all good. Oh, now here is the cons. The ask. It's very hard to ask for help. It can even feel demeaning. Most of us would sooner give help than receive help. So it's sometimes, when people need help, we'd be more susceptible to lend a helping hand, but to go and ask for help. For some reason, for some of us, this is like, man, I can't ask for help. No, I'll do it. I'll fix it. Yeah, we know how fulfilling it can be to help someone in need. Asking for accepting help for someone is a gift as well as to them as well as to you. It's reciprocating. It's reciprocity. You know what I mean? To help somebody else out and not looking for nothing in return. Not looking for them to pay you back. You know what I mean? That's a blessing right there to be able to help somebody out. Right? Seek and ye shall find. Yah holds the answers. Matthew 7, 7, and 8. It's hard for us to ask. Ask for help. The interesting thing about independence or an attitude of independence is that it's usually born out of necessity. So a lot of times we get these independent attitudes because of our backgrounds. In many cases, there are areas in your life where no one else has been there to look after you, right? We know some siblings have to take care of other siblings at a young age. That develops independence, at an early age. Maybe you had to learn how to cook at a young age because someone else wasn't able to do it for you. Maybe you had to be stronger in your career because money hasn't always been there for you. Maybe you had to be the emotional strong one because there wasn't no one else to be there for you. So you know what I mean? You're that strong person in the family, that shoulder to cry on, that person to lean on. But you got to make sure you cast your cares upon the Most High, like I said earlier, because if not, you'll be carrying 2 baggages. You'll be carrying 2 baggages, and that's not what it's designed to do. He said, "Cast your cares upon me, because I care for you." Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't care for people, but sometimes we worry more about people and their circumstances and their situations than need be, and people play off that too, especially family and friends. They know you got a soft spot, a soft heart, and they'll play on that. You know what I mean? And they'll be, oh, it's the end of the world. Hey, man, I need $150 right now. Or that's going to be it. You know what I mean? You ask the Most High. And if he tell you, I got him, don't worry about that 150. And you got to be like, bro, the Most High said he got you. Oh, amen. As a result, when we have an attitude of independence, it usually means we're not good at asking others for help when we need it. But this was another thing, too. This carries over into asking the Most High. Right? We'll just go, oh, that's a good idea. That's a come up. That's a sting. Sound good to me. And we'll go without even consulting the Most High. And I know I'm telling on myself with that. And I've wasted a lot of time, a lot of money, right? A lot of resources because I didn't consult with the Most High, right? The Bible says in all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct thy path. So we got to stop, pump the brakes, even though it's like a good idea. Because I'm a risk taker, and I just sound good to me. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So we have to stop and ask the Most High, right? 2, disconnect and blind spots. There is a danger of getting caught up in your own world. That happens a lot to a lot of us. The dangers of getting caught up in your own world. Me, myself, and I, right? My own church, us 4 and no more, right? We the ones with the truth, and everybody else they're on a basket to hell. You know what I mean? And you can get caught up in your own world, not just church or the ecclesia, but it could just whatever it is, just me, myself, and I. Being selfish, right? Failing to see how your actions can influence those around you. On a larger scale, you can lose sight on how we affect our natural environment. Be surprised how we affect one another when we disconnect from one another, right? When there's a disconnect, there's a lack of flow. Blind spots cause you not to acknowledge or be aware of the disconnect. So you could be offended somebody, or you could have did a bogus move or said some bogus stuff and not even know it because it's a blind spot and you're disconnected. You don't even know that you did that, right? Look, this is a picture of disconnect. These people on this side, the left side, can't even connect with the people on the right side, right? They need something to connect them, to bring them together. And if you ever think about the classic disconnect notice, right? They let you know ahead of time, like, hey, your services is about to be disconnected if you don't pay ABC, XYZ, right? You're not going to be connected, whether it's internet, whether it's water, whether it's cable, whatever it is. They give you a notice first, like, hey, man, you ain't been handling business. You get the disconnect notice. And the same thing, even with the Most High, he said in Revelation, he said you must return to your first love, right? Do those things that you did prior. You know how we first came into the knowledge of your higher Shai. We didn't even know all of the names. We didn't even know everything, but we just experienced his love, right? And we was a babe in the Most High, and he just showed us love day and night, right? And we became as a babe, and we knew that he cared for us, and we knew that he lead us and guide us in all truth, right? But now we get busy, right? We get independent. We get all these different things going on, and it's a disconnect. It's a disconnect. We got to make sure we stay connected to the Most High. He said in John 15, I am the vine, you are the branches, right? If you're not connected to me, you don't bear forth no fruit. So we got to stay connected. And the crazy thing about it is we might be disconnected from the Most High and not even know it. We not even know it. We not like, I don't even know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, because you're not connected, right? That devotion keeps you connected. All right, number three, complacency and loneliness. Circumstances beyond our control can make us dependent on others, right? If we're not used to interacting and working with people, the Most High, we be in circumstances that we can't even control, right? We'd be frustrated and aggravated. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? You might be upset, frustrated about the situation, right? You might want to do something different, but the Most High, he make you dependent on other people and stuff. All right, and this is another thing too on that complacency and loneliness. Task-oriented, goal-setting mindset instead of relationship building. We had a guy at our job. He was a taskmaster. I mean, this dude was not a pleasant guy, right? And it wasn't about your feelings. It wasn't about it's about the task at hand. Let's get it going. Boom, 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 boom. And people, you know what I mean? When we have meetings, we ain't standing around when it's at 4:00. Hey, it's 4:00. We leaving. You know, sometimes you could be after work and you chatting. Oh, look, it's 4:20 because you're enjoying the conversation or you're enjoying people, right? No. When this dude finished, we was done. Task-oriented, goal-setting mindset. Once the goal is met, no one has left the party. So now we're like, look, guys, we met this goal. We met this and that. We're going to have ice cream. We're going to have cake. And everybody looking at their watch like, oh, look at the time. I got something to do. I got somewhere to be. Because that relationship is not there. You didn't build that, right? You didn't build that relationship there. And so now you just task-oriented. People know that when you're not genuinely for them, right? Or you use them for whatever reason, and then that's it. No one will lend a hand. Oh, this is another one too. No one will lend a hand because of your independent attitude or your body language saying, I got it. I don't need help from you. And sometimes you might not even know that. You're doing that, man. I got it. I got that. Man, I got it. I got it. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, man, people, they look like they got it. And you sitting there struggling, sweating, falling to pieces on it, and you know, and then sometimes we be like this, man. That person is so selfish. They see me struggling. They know I need the help at ABC, XYZ. Again, you got to open your mouth. Ask. Hey, man, could you grab that for me? Could you help me take this? You got to ask. You can't assume that they're going to look at your situation and say, all right, yeah. Most of the time we do. But if we don't, we can't be like, man, that dude or that girl, she ain't about nothing. Codependent. Part of the reason we see it that way is because our option of codependent doesn't seem to be a healthy thing in our mind. We don't want to have to rely on anyone else for anything, to have need or anyone else or anything seem to be weak, right? And so a lot of times, men, we don't communicate at all. You cool? Yeah, I'm all right. We be the one, you know, when different things go on, relationships and the loss of loved ones or divorces that people have or just different things, men struggle. They struggle alone. They suffer in silence a lot of time. Women, they have, you know, all kind of, you know, support. They have more support. From what I've learned, from what I've noticed, they have more support than men, right? And so then men, they keep it all bottled up. Then they come out, they turn into a Sasquatch and be breaking and tearing stuff up. And like, this dude is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to have that vent. They got to release. They got to release that stuff, man. Not everybody. Not everybody operate violent, so I ain't gonna put that on all the men. But I know a lot of dudes, they be spazzing out. And I be like, "What's wrong with bro?" And then they got nothing to do with what, you know, what's in front of them. It could be some deep. You know, we suffer in silence a lot. You know what I mean? Trying to be strong and not to look weak. Independence. American culture values independence, but sometimes it can take it a bit too far. For many of us, success goes hand in hand with self-sufficiency. Anything we are often told we can achieve through hard work, which usually implies work done on one's own, right? We hear the whole term, man, I pulled myself up by my own bootstraps, right? When I was a baby, shoot, I changed my own diaper. You know what I'm saying? Made my own formula. You just independent from the womb, right? And you know, if you work hard enough and you work long enough, no. Sometimes, hey, look, man, I need a team. We need a team to accomplish this. That American dream and that capitalism, it really, really, I could say, I look out, it really, really handicap the children of the Most High, Israel. It really handicapped Israel, right? To depend even on the system, right? We don't have a lot of autonomy. We trust, and you know, we real strong with the political parties, but we're looking for them to come and save us and help us. You know what I mean? Help us out. If you get what I'm saying. And we always looking for somebody. Well, you know, the news to tell us the truth. We always looking for somebody to help us out. You know what I mean? But we don't look for the person who should help us out. You know, he has no ulterior motives. The Most High, Yah. He has no ulterior motives than another to love you and see you successful, right? But we don't go to him for help. We independent. It's kind of weird. We're independent when it comes to the Most High. When we come to seek help from the Most High, but we're real dependent upon this world system. That's why he said, come out of her, my people. You know, don't partake in her ways, right? Come out of her, right? All right, ideal independence. For those who were raised in the U.S., an ideal of independence may bring mind iconic stories of rugged individuals, pioneers, the mavericks, or resourceful immigrants who built a way of life in their own terms. But while bravery and perseverance are valuable traits that help us make our way of life, these stories can idealize autonomy, instilling unrealistic expectations. You hear that? Instilling unrealistic expectations of attaining our goals solo. Nobody is doing this thing solo. I'm sorry. Not a man, woman, or child, right? You might see you might be the one who getting the shine, right? But you ain't up there getting it by yourself. Nobody, not no artists, not no athletes, not no actors, actresses. Nobody is doing it on their own. It's a team. It's an invisible team behind a successful person that you see on the forefront, right? These narratives also overlook the fact that we benefit enormously from the help of others. We benefit from helping one another. We benefit from that. And let's see. Research. Okay. I think there's like 4 more slides left. Researchers have found that people who avoid asking for help may suffer from significant social and professional costs. They have a tendency to avoid seeking valuable help from educators, colleagues, because involving others makes them feel needy. But by choosing to isolate in order to feel self-reliant, they may put themselves at risk of feeling unsupported or depressed. Now, here's one thing that I can say, even from this year, right? I grew vegetables. I had a garden last year, and I go to Menards, I go to the different stores, and man, this dirt is high. This dirt is real high, man. The manure and the bone marrow and the blood meal and all these different things that I bought, you know what I mean? It's so expensive. The mulch, right? And I shelled out, I can't even lie, over $200 in dirt just to fill my raised beds up. Now this year, because I prayed last year, I said, Most High, I'm not the only person. This is my prayer, I promise. Most High, I'm not the only one doing this. Connect me with like-minded individuals that are growing fresh fruits and vegetables. And he answered my prayer within 6 months. I got a chance to go to the class at Purdue. I met some serious people, right? Serious resources, serious people. Then they was like, hey, you want an internship? I was like, yeah, I want an internship. So they hooked me up with an internship. So I was like, oh my goodness. Then one farmer was like, hey man, all the dirt you need any dirt, don't even worry about it. I got dirt. What? He get the truckload of dirt. So he get mounds of dirt. And then the other 2 places was like, you know what? You ain't got to worry about the wood chips, the mulch. I got that. I'm like, what? So that right there, working with somebody else, like mind, like spirit, I save a ton of money. In other words, I would have been spending a lot of money. I'd have been spending a lot of money in those areas, right? But because I connected with the people, I connected with them. Now my resources is expanded, and they tell, hey, I'll come over and help you out. I'm like, bet. You come over and help me get this stuff done, right? Okay, Jeremiah 29:11, right? For I know the thoughts I think towards you, saith the Most High, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end, right? An expected end. He has something for us, right? We shouldn't wrestle and fight against him, right? We should cooperate with the Most High. Not because he had the keys to heaven and hell, not only that, and got the Lamb's Book of Life, but the simple fact that he is for us. And the Bible says, if Yahweh be for us, who can be against us, right? So as we get older, we need to become more dependent upon the Most High and his will, right? Even Yahusha, he showed that motto. He said, Yahweh, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done, right? So we got to become more, the older we get, we got to become more dependent. We got to stay as a babe. We got to become more dependent on Abba. And then we won't have to stress as much, right? If you think about our children, right? And we having a problem with a bill or a shortage or something, they don't know. Oh man, I wonder if I'm going to eat tomorrow. They go to sleep. They ain't worried about that. So we got to become as little children and know that the Most High got our back and our best mind and best interest in mind. Ecclesiastes 4:12. If one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him, and a 3/4 cord is not easily broken. Right? If I had a 1-strand cord, I can easily snap it. 2, if I wiggle it enough, I can snap it. But a 3/4 cord, them old sailor ropes, them old ship ropes, you can't break those things. Right? They can dock a whole tugboat. A threefold cord is not easily broken, and that's how we should be, a threefold cord, not easily broken. 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your worries on him because he cared for you. Cast your cares upon him. And when we cast them upon him, we don't take them back in the form of fear, doubt, and worry. We got to cast our cares on him and let it alone, right? For when I am weak, then I am strong. Sometimes we don't want to be weak. We don't want to be looked upon as being a weak person, right? But we said, when I'm weak, then I am strong. Well, yeah. Now the reason we come to the end of ourselves, we can get all of him, right? As long as we in the play, as long as we got some say so, as long as we got something going on, then we can't get all of him, right? He got more to give. So we got to come to the end of ourselves. That's why the greatest miracles and the greatest things happens. We be like, man, the Most High, I don't know about y'all. I'll be like, man, I was a younger saint and things would happen. And I'm like, man, I'm forsaken like a mug. You know what I mean? But then I would seek his face. I would cry out. I would turn down my plate. I would be more attentive because of the scare of whatever's in front of me, the trial, the tribulation, the situation. And, he's going to take care of it anyway. David said, I was once young and now I'm old, and I never seen the righteous forsaken nor a seed begging bread, right? So when you weak, when you come to the end of your own self, then you can become strong in him, right? So we just thank the Most High for that. And I just think, oh, thank you. Son brought me a little beverage. Rohan, what's up, man? Salama, man. We gotta get you going, brother. LC, the prodigal son, Salama. And that's one thing I want to say in closing, man. That American dream messed us up. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of us got that stimmy, man. And we just went to our own corners and did our own thing. But guess what? I seen a lot of different things. We could have a business overnight. I seen a big rig, the truck part for 8 stacks. Now I know that's kind of like that's a nice and the back part, right, the trailer part for 8 stacks, right? Now you get together with a few other people. You pinch off your stimmy or whatever money you got, and y'all can go in together and buy that mug, right? And then contract out a person that got a big rig, and you got a business, right? I've seen so many different things. Hey, man, let's get together and get some lawn equipment, lawnmower business, right? Get together, you know what I'm saying? And so instead of, I got mine, he got his, and, we fresh to death, and, we got the newest George. I said, man, we can get together and put our resources together, get some land. I've seen some land for like 20,000. They don't like us talking like this. I seen some land like 20,000. Where was it at? Had a creek running through it and all that. You mean to tell me 5 families, 6 families can put together, come together, become dependent upon one another, codependent, I want to say, and get that land? You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things. We got to come together. And you know what? When they say they come together and they conspire, they come together and they have plans, man. Remember I was about that scramble for Africa and all these different things, man. These guys come together. The Federal Reserve, a creature from Jekyll Island, these guys come together and be having plans, man. They be having 100-year plans, decade worth of plans. And we can't get together. We can't participate and celebrate each other, man. We need to get together. We need to get together real soon. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm praying for Israel. And when he said, can these dry bones live? They didn't all just jump up individual, right? They came together. Sinews came on. Then he blew the ruach, his breath, and then it lived, right? It lived. And even Yahusha, he didn't go by himself. He was, he had 12 with him. He had 12 with him when he went out, right? And even after Judas did his thing, he replaced him. Barnabas had Paul, You know what I'm saying? It's no one man show. You know what I mean? No Long Ranger, no one man show. So we got to come together. That's right, Lynn. It's true. We got to come together. So I'm praying for that. But we got to have the same motives and the right motives when we come together. We got to have the same motive. Because shout out to Brother Issachar. I mean, I understand what he was saying too. Because cats, we got other things that they want to do. You know what I mean? So they're not looking out for the whole of the group. You know what I mean? But I want all my family to be well and prosperous. I want all my family to be successful. Just I know that sounds corny, but yeah, one vision. You feel what I'm saying? And then when they was in the upper room, he said, "Look, I need y'all to go up in the upper room till y'all together on one accord and just wait." And they was up in the upper room, and then when Yahweh checked their hearts, he sent this Ruach HaKodesh. It came in like a mighty rushing wind on one accord, right? And that's why people are even attracted to things that even if it's not all together, or if it's not about the Most High, right? It ain't about the right, but it's uniform, it's family, it's together. You know what I mean? People, it's intriguing to folk. They're like, man, I like what they got going on. You know what I mean? And so we just need to come together. We want to pray for one another. And today I was angry at the wicked entities. It was just a spirit that told me, stop giving your energy to wicked entities. Give your energy to the Most High. Exalt the Heavenly Father. Amen. 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 You're right, man. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? And what does he do? Think about what he do in closing, for real, for real. I'm closing a whole bunch of time like a preacher. It's pretty good. Think about what he do. He get us off on an island by ourselves and whisper in our ear. That's why we got to cast down every imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, right? He get us alone and whisper those things in our ear. It happens to all of us. He don't want us to. I mean, even this whole setup, you know, how the system is set up. Like, I want y'all to social distance, put on a mask, don't talk to each other, don't look to each other for counsel. Just watch the TV and wait to hear from us. We'll tell you what's going on next because we love you and we care for you. Okay. But that's a whole nother different story, man. So, Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, dealing with elephants in the room. I hope you learned something. Share. Like I said, it's inexhaustible. It's inexhaustible. Share. And then also, make sure your Sister Shonda at large. That's the 800 number, 833-587-0213. And to get on text Israel Life, not Israelite, Israel Life to that number and get on the 714 movement list. And then when we have fellowships every second and fourth Thursday of the month, like we got one this Thursday coming up, every second and fourth Thursday of the month, then you'll be able to, it'd be a blessing. So it's not taped like that, but it don't cost anything. So it's a blessing, you know what I mean? Yours truly gonna get a lesson this week. I ain't saying that's why I want you to come, but I'm just saying it'd be a blessing for those who went to the 714 movement fellowship on the second and fourth Thursday. Is really a blessing. So yeah, make sure y'all do that. What else? Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. You said good information. Yeah, and it's not an exhaustible list, right? It's really, really not an exhaustible list. These are a few nuggets that we got to live by. We got to just stop, pump the brakes, and think about it. You know what I mean? And so tomorrow, man, Lord Terry Spare Life, we're going to have a party. We're going to have a party. I'm shouting out everybody. I'm shouting out everybody. I'm giving out links. I'm giving out the links, like Cuban links, to everybody who has been a blessing to me. They show wise, and I'm gonna give them a little shout out, and I'm putting their links in the chat, and we will have a good time. And I, you know, that's how we help each other out. You know what I'm saying? So I just really appreciate folk, man. I really appreciate everybody, man. And we gonna get it in, man. So That's pretty much it. If you have no questions, no comments, or nothing like that, then we gonna be hightailing it out of here. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, dealing with elephants in the room. Merch coming soon, man. Merch coming soon. So I'll keep you informed on that. All right, one.